I'm Ashley and today I'm making this video all about why I went vegan and just answering any questions that anybody might have about veganism and stuff like that. But just because in life I actually get a lot of people come up to me and ask me why I'm vegan, what made me want to go vegan, and I know it's more of a thing now, like there are a lot more people now who are aware of veganism, but there are also a lot of people out there who still don't really understand what veganism is, you know, the rules behind it, and yeah, so I'm basically here today just to like put my input on it, why I'm vegan, and just to explain about the dairy industry, why not just be vegetarian, you know. I apologise, this is my first ever sit down video, so I apologise if I'm a bit nervous or not making any sense. It just feels a bit weird. I'm currently sat in my living room talking to a camera, so yeah. So let's start off with what is veganism. So veganism is where you don't eat anything that comes from an animal. So you don't eat meat, you don't eat eggs, you don't have any dairy, nothing that comes from an animal. So rubbish at this. So why I went vegan. So my whole life I've been a meat eater. My whole family are meat eaters. I mean, you know, apart from a few, but that's for their own personal reasons. My whole family, we've always been brought up thinking that meat's healthy for you, you should eat good steak, you know, the background of it. I loved meat. I used to live off of, like, I went to university a few years ago. When I first started university, I lived off of chicken. Like, I loved chicken so much. When I went out, I loved steak. So I haven't, like, I've come from a background of eating meat, so I completely understand the like opinions of a meat eater, and also now obviously the opinions of a vegan. So yeah, so I was a full-on meat eater, and then when I went to university, as I said, when I first started, I still ate meat. Loved chicken, ate chicken, I'm gonna say basically every day. And then I came across some YouTubers such as vegan, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first started watching the videos, I thought I could never do that. Like, I just thought, that's not me. Like, I love meat too much, I could never do that. What do they eat? But the more I watched them, the more I became more interested in veganism, and I kind of educated myself upon it. So I watched Earthlings, which, by the way, if you haven't watched Earthlings, I highly recommend watching it. Just to warn you, it's very emotional. Like, if she cried my eyes out. So yeah, I cried my eyes out at Earthlings, and that's what really hit me. I realised, like, I'm crying at what's actually happening, but I'm also contributing to it. So why am I getting so emotional over something that I'm still happy to contribute to? Anyway, I still ate meat after that. That didn't hit me enough. Still carried on eating meat, although there was a little bit of feeling of, like, every time I ate meat I did feel a bit bad. So that was the thing that kind of ticked in my head then. Once I watched Earthlings, it kind of kicked in my head, like, okay, this is wrong. Like, you don't believe in this. Then I watched 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, which, by the way, is a presentation on YouTube. Just type on it, 101 Reasons to Go Vegan on YouTube, and yeah, it's like an hour or something long. So yeah, I watched that, and that was the turning point for me. So I think I'd watched Earthlings, which was more of like the side which really hit my emotional side, and, you know, my compassion came out, and it clicked in my head. And then when I watched 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, that was more of a educational side to it. So it taught me a lot of things about veganism and why it's not actually natural to eat meat and dairy, and why it's just not right. So after that, what I did was I then decided, I didn't go fully vegan. I'm not going to put it out there and say I went vegan straight away, because I didn't. I said to myself, because I was such a meat eater, I decided that if I literally all of a sudden went vegan overnight, I would then crave meat and I'd end up eating meat and dairy. So I went vegetarian for, like, I said to myself, I'm gonna go vegetarian. If I crave meat, I'm gonna eat it. Just because I feel like if you deprive yourself of something so, like, oh, you can't have that, you automatically want it. So I said, yeah, right, I'm gonna go vegetarian, but if I crave chicken, like, that was the only thing I was mainly concerned about, then I'm going to eat it. Like, it was like I'm going to allow myself to have it in smaller doses, and I decided to cut things out slowly. However, when I made this decision to go vegetarian after I watched that presentation, I didn't even crave chicken. Like, it was weird. Like, I don't know whether something just, like, clicked in my brain, but, like, I didn't crave it at all. So I didn't eat chicken for, like, the whole month. I didn't eat meat for the whole month. I was fully vegetarian, and it was a success. So after the whole month of being vegetarian, I thought, well, if I can be vegetarian, like I can go vegan. Like it's obviously like clicked in my head that this isn't right and this is what I need to do. So then I went vegan, and yeah, that was about 2.5 years ago. So I've been vegan ever since. So in regards to veganism, the main question I usually get is like, I think a lot of people understand like the negative side of like the meat industry, but a lot of people don't understand like, okay, so what is wrong with having dairy? Like a lot of people don't get it. Like I never got it until I educated myself. So with the dairy industry, it's really bad because so when a cow is born, if it's a female, it then goes obviously into the dairy industry. If it's a male, it goes into the meat industry and is slaughtered for meat. But for females who go into the dairy industry, they are raped over and over again. You know, obviously the cow is like a human, like any animal. You don't produce milk unless you're pregnant. So in order for a dairy cow to produce milk, it needs to be pregnant. They rape the cows by inserting, you know what, into them every like, you know, however many times they can until the female cow, his body just gives up because it can't have any more. Then it will go to the slaughterhouse, and then it will get killed. So it goes through a longer period of torture, and then when each calf is born, if you think about it, like when a child is born, for humans, when a baby is born, a mother's milk is for that baby to grow and into a human. Like it's you know, to grow, and it gives all the nutrients to the baby. And it's the same thing for a calf and a cow. I don't think a lot of people make this connection. I never did. You know, a cow's milk is literally produced for a calf to grow into a cow. Now, isn't that just strange that like we as humans have been told that drinking milk, it's like drinking cow's milk is normal? Like I don't understand. Like we're not trying to grow into cows. Like that's what baffles me a lot. Anyway, yeah. So a calf is then taken away from the mother, obviously because the mother needs to produce milk for humans, even though it's meant to make, you know, the milk is meant to be for the calf. This is just what the dairy industry does. So yeah, that's literally, for me, like that is enough to explain why the dairy industry is bad. Like I personally wouldn't want to contribute to that. I have in the past. That's when I was uneducated on it. So now I'm educated on it, I wouldn't want to contribute to that. So that's my half on why the dairy industry is bad. There are also other reasons why the dairy industry is bad. I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video, but I'm sure there are a load of videos on YouTube all about it, and there's so much information online if anyone is interested. But another reason is like the dairy industry is so bad for the environment, for global warming, because of cows producing so much methane. It's just an overall bad thing. Okay, so why no eggs? So a lot of people say to me, but like if an egg is there, why wouldn't you eat it? So for me, if you see a lot of free range eggs in stores, the majority of them are not free range. Free range basically means they are not caged. And you might think, okay, well, the chickens aren't caged, why is that a bad thing? But just because they're not caged does not mean they're not in confined spaces and they're not going through a process of cruelty. They still go through a horrible process. Just because they're not caged doesn't mean that they're not in literally tiny spaces. Like they're all in tiny spaces in order for them to lay loads of eggs for us as humans to eat. Now I am aware that there are a lot of places like farms and you know, like a lot of like people. I have friends myself who have chickens, you know, who I know live a wonderful life and they produce eggs. So if I was to ever eat an egg, which I will never, just because I have another opinion on eggs myself, I just don't think they're healthy, and to me it weirds me out now. But if I was to ever eat an egg, besides the ethical side of it, that's like the kind of eggs I would eat with the other ones that, you know, I have friends who have chickens, but I would just never eat an egg again. Not that I know the education on it now, I just don't think it's healthy for you, and especially I would never buy eggs from a store if I was to ever eat an egg again, which as I said I had time, so I will not. So, some information I also found online in relation to why we shouldn't promote eating eggs, especially from stores, etc. is that male chicks, I already knew this, but I just wanted to get like the background information to make sure I'm feeding the right information to you guys. So male chicks, they are killed, obviously, because if a male chick is born, they can't produce eggs, so it's kind of like they are viewed as like pointless. So they are killed by spine snapping, and this is where pressure is applied to the back of the neck to dislocate the spinal column from the skull. Another method of killing them is by putting them in a high-speed grinder, which I've actually seen very many videos of, and it's so awful. And then chickens who like hens who can no longer lay eggs, they're then slaughtered for chicken, like for meat. So overall, it's just a very, again, same as the dairy industry, it's a very negative process that I wouldn't want to contribute to. I see a lot of comments within the vegan community online that, oh well, and I personally used to have this view as well, like, you know, even though I used to like trick my brain into thinking that animals were killed nicely and it's natural to eat meat, blah 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 blah, because that's all I used to believe. And I used to think, well, just because you're going vegetarian, like when I started to learn about veganism, I used to think, well, just one person can't change everything, like we all eat meat, like it's never going to change. So yeah, there are a lot of comments that basically say like vegans can't save all these animals, like they're still going to die, so why don't you just eat them? But on I don't know if it's, this is really bad of me because I'm vegan and I go on this site a lot. I don't know if it's PETA or PETA, but you'll know what I'm talking about. So on their website, it states that vegans save 198 animals per year. That is per vegan. So for me, like, if I could even save one animal per year, like I would be doing my job, like, for me. The fact that we save 198 animals per year, like, that's just so amazing, and like that makes me want to just keep spreading this message and promoting veganism as much as possible. If we can save so many animals from being killed, like, and spread this message, like, that's what I want, basically. As I said earlier, I apologise if this video is like blah 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 and it made no sense. This is my first ever sit down video, and yeah, it's a little weird, but I'm gonna get used to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and any comments or anything you have about veganism, please leave below, or any information you have. I'm still learning. I mean, I've been a vegan for 2.5 years, but I'm still learning every single day. So yeah, thanks for watching.